Hi, I'm Brian Noble, CEO of Family Policy Institute of Washington.
And I'm Brad Payne, president of FPIW Action.
Couple disclaimers before we get started. Nothing in this recording should be taken as an endorsement of the candidate, nor the candidate's endorsement of FPIW Action or FPIW. It's simply a meet and greet and a time to get together. One other thing is this will be recorded and posted on multiple platforms. So welcome to the program.
Thank you.
All right, Mark, I get the first question. Pretty easy.
Okay.
If you would, just for everybody out there listening, state your name, the position you're running for, and then give us some background about you and your family both.
Okay. My name is Mark Hargrove. I'm an Air Force Academy graduate, veteran Air Force pilot, was or fairly recently retired instructor pilot from the Boeing company. And 8 of my last 9 years at Boeing, I was a state representative in the 47th district. I am married to my wife, Sandy, for 45 years, have two married daughters who live close, and I have 7 grandchildren. Um, and I was redistricted just a couple of years ago into the 5th district. So the area around me is now in the 5th district, and I'm running for state representative in the 5th district.
All right.
Excellent. So what is motivating you to run for office?
Well, there's a little bit of a background to that story. In 2008, I was doing my Bible study fellowship lesson on a flight as a passenger. And I just felt the impression that I needed to run for state representative. So, and I'll shorten the story, but got off the flight, called my wife, and she said, "Oh yeah, she'd been kind of thinking that's the kind of thing we should do anyway." And so I ran for that position. I got about 47% that election, which is pretty good, but didn't quite get across the finish line. So I took my family to Disney World to reward them for what they had put up with. And then in 2010, felt like I needed to finish the job. Now, that was in spite of the King County Republican Party recruiting somebody else to run instead of me, but I managed to win that election. And then my time in the legislature was it has its rewards, but being in the minority is very frustrating. You can't do the big things that you want to, but it was able to do some things, and especially help individuals. And so that was the particularly rewarding part of the job. 2018, I got unelected, and then in 2019, retired from Boeing. So I went from 2 jobs down to 0 jobs, and we've been enjoying it. We've been traveling around, laying on beaches, going to Disney World with the family, all that kind of stuff. And I honestly thought I was done with politics. But we were actually in Disney World, got a call from someone who said, "Here's the situation in the 5th district. There's a Republican, fairly new to politics, and not well funded or anything, and he's got 3 well-funded Democrats." And so we kind of thought about the scenario and thought that the primary might go well for that Republican, but the general probably wouldn't with those 3 Democrat candidates. And so we talked about it and decided that maybe God was not ready for me to be put out to pasture yet. That maybe there was something that I could contribute to my neighbors and so on. And so we thought about it, and that I filed 1 hour before the deadline to file for office. So it's just I just got to do something for my neighbors.
All right. That's a good cause. So my question next one is, legislatively speaking, what would you consider your top 1 or 2 concerns? And then what would you hope to accomplish if you return back to office?
Okay. I think the top 2, first is affordability. Everybody sees besides the inflation caused by national spending, we're the 4th highest in the nation for home prices. We're what are some other ones? 4th highest for groceries. I think we're 3rd highest for the price of gas. All these things are just driving my neighbors crazy. And there are things that we can do in the legislature. We can lower the taxes and regulations on our businesses, enabling them to thrive, which brings down the prices. Excuse me. also keeps their businesses open, keeps more people employed, and it just makes life more affordable for people. The other issue is crime. We are number one in the nation for retail theft, and you can see that. You walk through the stores and you see the plexiglass in the stores and so on. We're I think fourth in the nation for automobile theft, and all those statistics on crime. At the same time, we have for 13 years in a row been the lowest ratio of police officers to people, and so you can see that you can see how that all contributes to our problems. And of course, then that crime, as I kind of mentioned already, leads to affordability problems for my neighbors. Regarding the crime and public safety. Back in, I think it was 95, Rudy Giuliani became mayor of New York City, and he inherited a city that was quite crime ridden, and he applied the broken windows theory. And the idea of that is that if you've got a neighborhood that has broken windows, small crimes just going on and so on, it does not foster a good place to live. And when those smaller crimes lead to bigger crimes and so on. And so he employed lots and lots of police officers, and then started prosecuting those small crimes, which cut down on crime overall. Mm-hmm. Just the atmosphere of the community got better and better and really turned that city around. And I think that we could do that same thing in Washington State.
Excellent. Fourth, and our final question is, you had a chance to look over FPIW action and FPIW's issues or policies that we advocate for in the public square. Any of those you'd like to comment? Environmental stewardship, immigration, public safety. You've talked about public safety, but any of the other ones that you'd like to comment on?
Yeah, well, it's kind of related to that, but I think that we can see that there is plenty of evidence that the breakdown of the family is the reason behind so many of the ills that we have going on in our state. You can't find hardly a mass shooting where you don't have the shooter is being raised by grandparents because the family is dysfunctional, or at least the father is gone from the house, and so on. So so we can see that fatherless situation or the broken homes is a problem that leads to all these other things. I also should mention, all the drug abuse, mental health, those kinds of things that are symptoms of that too. I guess I could say that the government is not helping the problem. We are creating stress on these families that makes it harder for them to thrive. There are, like as I mentioned before, too many regulations, too many taxes, driving businesses out of business, making people unemployed. It also, because of the stress on those businesses, prices are higher, so the affordability. So again, we're back to that too. Let's see here. I'll mention a couple other things. The Climate Commitment Act, which is going to be addressed in the referendum or the ballot this fall. Telling or raise the price of gas by 50 cents per gallon. That hurts everybody. Just and it's unnecessary. Yeah, we need to be environmental stewards, but it doesn't. It's out of balance where we're causing. I thought of this statistic that if China, I'm saying this backward, if Washington State was carbon neutral for an entire year, China would wipe that out in a day. So why we can't put such a burden on our people and our families and so on if it's not really getting anything accomplished there. So I think we need to realize that just my parting comment is that Washington State, it's not like this in all the other states. The legislature has created problems that are causing all these problems, or created the situation that's caused all these problems, and the legislature can fix these things. And electing me and some other folks like me, I think will get us on the right path.
Very good. Well, thank you, Mark. We appreciate it. Thank you for your thoughtful answers, and we wish you much success in the next few weeks as you wrap up your campaign. And we appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule to be with us today.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate the Washington Policy or Family Policy Institute of Washington.
All right.
Family Policy Institute of Washington. I messed that up. Okay, take care.
That's okay.
All right. Well, I'm Brad Payne, Family Policy Institute of Washington Action.
And I'm Brian Noble from FPIW. Again, we want to remind you that no comments from this video should be taken as an endorsement of the candidate, nor the candidate's endorsement of FPIW or FPIW action. As we like to say around here, let's love our neighbor by faithfully stewarding the public square. And if you are a defender, go out and defend and advance biblical values in the public square. God bless.